Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. This is the last video from our trip to Kuala Lumpur and Singapore, and today we will take the bus from Kuala Lumpur down to Singapore. It took quite some time. It was just before the Chinese New Year, so it was a lot of traffic going through the checkpoint down in Singapore to get into the country. It was kind of a strange color scheme on this bus, but it worked and it took us all the way to Singapore. We had one break on this bus trip down to Singapore. We stopped at a rest stop where you could buy some food, snacks, and all other stuff. It was nice just to stretch your legs and go to the bathroom. It was quite busy, even though it doesn't look like that here, but it came and went buses all the time. So it was a lot of people going through here. Quite some wait in the immigration checkpoint to get into Singapore. This was just the days before Chinese New Year, so many people were traveling. We stayed at Dash Living at Mackenzie. It was an okay hotel, especially for the amount of money you pay. It is very close to Little India MRT station, so it was a good place to travel in Singapore. Downstairs, there was a restaurant where we eat a lot of our meal. It's a mom and pop kind of thing. This is some chicken barbecue rice. It was very yummy and pretty cheap, as all the hawker centers are here in Singapore. We also ordered some veggies and some sweet and sour chicken. Our hotel is also within walking distance to the famous Mustafa Centre in Singapore. They're open all the way until 2 a.m. every day of the week, 9:30 to 2 a.m. And they are famous for having bargain prices to be in Singapore. And they have everything from, like you see here, shoes to big screen TVs. We will spend quite some time here so you can get a feel of what is available here in this store. I will just let you watch. Enjoy. Many of the aisles here are pretty narrow, so when people coming with the carts and baskets on wheels, it can be quite hard to get through sometimes, especially if there is a lot of people. As you can see, they have a lot of stuff here, and they're not shy of using the tiny aisles for storage space as well. This is a multi-level shopping experience. Of course, they also have a supermarket section. We will check that out in a little while. I know the video is a little bit jumpy and can seem confused, but that is the feeling you get when you are in this store. On one level you see some wheelchairs and stuff, and just a few meters later you will see kids' bikes and suitcases, and then you find a huge area with tennis rackets and badminton that we come up to here. It is an unreal experience actually to walk around this store. Highly recommended if you ever come to Singapore. And here we come from backpacks down to electronics. This is really a one-stop shop for everything for your household. You have an aisle with just printers. Both sides are full of different printers. Laptops, yeah, you name it, you can probably find it here. In search of an emergency light, I think you can find something here. You need an iron. They have a couple of one to choose from here. I'm sure you will find your favorite here. And from irons we go right into TVs and home entertainment. Loud music here as well. A new fridge? No problem, they have you covered. If you need a wheelchair or other equipment to help you get around, you can find it here. We were coming into the supermarket part. It's perhaps not as nice and upscale as many of the places we saw in Kuala Lumpur, but they do have a lot of stuff here. This time there wasn't that much people here. Last time I was here, although that was 2 years ago I think, there was a lot of people here. You couldn't even get through here, so I didn't shop anything that time. But this time there was not that many people in the supermarket section, so we could roam around and check it out. Of course they have some fresh fish as well. Although, as I said, it's not as upscale as it was in most places we visited in Kuala Lumpur. But if you're on a budget in Singapore, this might be the place for you to do some shopping. Also in here in the supermarket section, they have very narrow aisles. So when people are in those aisles with a cart or something, you have to wait for them to move along so you can enter. Of course, they have all the detergents and all that kind of stuff as well. It seems like whatever product group or category you are looking for, they always have a lot of different kinds to choose from. It is a confusing store. There is a lot of stairs up and down and multi-levels. Here we have some water bottles. If you need one, they have a couple of choose from. Two sides of this aisle just full with water bottles. Kitchen utensils, pots and pans, whatever you need. I really enjoy walking around in this store. If I was living here in Singapore full time, I would shop here every week and it would be very expensive. If you need a safe, of course, they have you covered. Later that day, we ended up at Clarke Quay at our favorite place, Harry's at Clarke Quay. I don't know why we always end up there, but it has been a thing. We had some food, of course. She wasn't that hungry. She just had some chicken wings, but I was, of course, a lot more hungry than that. So I had a burger, very yummy one, and a couple of beers, of course. We also shared a dessert. So 2 beers, burger, some chicken wings, and dessert. She had some non-alcoholic drink as well. Set us back 121 Singapore dollars. After finishing our early dinner, we took a walk around Clarke Quay, checking out the sights. We have been here before. I was living here for 3 months before the pandemic shut down Philippines opened up again. And the lady of the house, she had lived here for 8 years as a domestic helper, OFW, as I call it here in the Philippines. A view down towards Marina Bay. We also stopped by the Clarke Quay Central, the mall there. I'm not that impressed by it. It's kind of cool, but not that busy or have that nice stores. Then we walked up towards Chinatown. If you have been in Singapore, you know that it's not that far from Clarke Quay. As I've been saying before in these videos, it is the year of the dragon 2024, and this was just before the new year kicked off for real. So they have a lot of dragons here. Last time I was here, it was during Chinese New Year for a year of the tiger. That was 2022, I think. Then it was a lot of tigers here. No tigers, just dragons. They really like to do a lot of stuff here in Chinatown for Chinese New Year. It's quite an experience to be here. So sad, LED lights doesn't approve with my camera settings here. So we walked around Chinatown a little bit. Have you been here? You know, it is a busy place, almost all time of the day. Lots of food options here in Chinatown. Also, you can find quite some affordable places to eat here. Hawker centers in Chinatown is quite cheap for being in Singapore, I would say. And of course, durian. Do you like durian? Please let me know in the comments. I'm not a big fan, but it is not as bad as it smells, I must say. So, worth trying out. So we are walking back towards Clarke Quay to give you some views of Clarke Quay at night. It is very nice. I like it a lot. Here we have Clarke Quay Central, so we're getting close. Here we have Clarke Quay at night in all its glory. I really enjoy this part of Singapore, although it is very expensive. But of course, it is a touristy place. It will be even more expensive than Singapore in general. I put some still pics here as well, because I think it shows a little bit better when it's not moving around. A couple of days later, we went to Marina Bay because they have a drone show. Inside the Marina Bay shops, they have a very cool dragon display holding a pearl. Very cool. This is the shopping mall here at Marina Bay. Very nice indeed. So here we are outside waiting for the drone show to commence. As you can see, there was a lot of people. Unfortunately, there wasn't. We were too late to get a good place to see. I had a tree just in front of me. Nothing you could do, but I will show you a little bit from this drone show. I don't know how many drones it was, but it was a lot of drones that was in the air that night. This show was so popular, they had to change the time. They have to call in extra security personnel. They even closed some of the entrances or exits from the mall, because before and after the show the crowd was too big for them to handle. So it was a lot of walking involved to get in and out from this show. But well worth it, and a very cool experience. As I said, we didn't have the best viewpoint according to the camera, of course, but it was a bit better when you were there in person. You could feel the sound a little bit more, and yeah, it was a very nice experience. Very cool. Of course, we took a quick walk on Orchard as well to see what they had to offer for Chinese New Year. It was a late afternoon. We were taking a walk here. The lights started to come on. One of the biggest displays that we saw was the Coca-Cola display. Every occasion needs a Coca-Cola, I think they said in some of the old commercials. The last day in Singapore, we spent at Jewel at Changi. We stored our bags at the airport, and then we went into the Jewel and spent most of our day there, checking out the Vortex, the world's largest indoor waterfall. Many Singaporeans and OFWs go here during the weekends and the day off to just chill and eat and do some shopping. It is well worth a visit if you haven't been here before. So as usual, you have to leave your hotel around lunch. So we did so. I can tell you that this hotel, Dash Living at Mackenzie, doesn't have any luggage storage because it isn't really manned. You check in via an iPad, FaceTime with another of the hotels. So you have to bring your luggage with you when you leave the hotel. So we went to the airport and stored our luggage there for a couple of dollars for the day. And then we spent the day here in Jewel. We will end this video here with some night shots, because as I said, we were here all day. And this will also conclude our trip to Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. The next video will be from back home in the Philippines. I guess it will be a road trip from Iloilo or just a trip inside Iloilo, depending on what we had to do. So, thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye for now.